Jalen Carter absolutely wrecked the New Orleans Saints offensive line, and today we're going to talk about it. To me, what Vic Fangio had Jalen Carter doing was incredible. So this is the first third down of the game. This is the third play of the game for the Philadelphia Eagles defense. And notice what they're doing here with the defensive line. You have a guy that's directly lined up over the center. He's angled towards the center, so there's no way the center's going to be able to not block this guy. You put a guy directly over the right guard, and then you put a defensive end outside of the tight end here. So essentially what you're doing is you're isolating Jalen Carter and Trevor Penning. Now, I like Trevor Penning. I think he'll be a really good guard at some point in his NFL career, but he's not a good tackle. And Vic Fangio understood what they wanted to ultimately do, and they did it, man. And Jalen Carter was absolutely incredible. And this play does technically pick up the first down, but the play was designed towards the inside. This was not an outside run. Jalen Carter's going to push back Trevor Penning, and you can see that there's nowhere for Alvin Kamara to go on this play. Now, obviously, you can see Kamara does a good job bouncing this to the outside. You'll see the defensive end, Bryce Huff, out here is going to lose containment, and because he loses containment on this one, Alvin Kamara is able to bounce this towards the outside. But this was the game plan coming in, right? Allow Jalen Carter one-on-one situations and let this guy wreck the New Orleans Saints offensive line, and he absolutely did that. You got another one, man. Jalen Carter just blows it up. The Eagles wanted to isolate Trevor Penning in that Jalen Carter matchup, especially on early downs. So one of the things to note is the New Orleans Saints offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak, runs a lot of the Kyle Shanahan scheme, essentially, right? A lot of what Kyle Shanahan wants to run. Mike McDaniel runs a very similar concept as well, and Vic Fangio was obviously with the Dolphins last year. It's a very similar concept, and Vic Fangio clearly knows how to attack this, and to me, it just works. You put your best defensive lineman, you widen him out a little bit, you exploit a matchup that you think you can exploit, and this guy just dominated this entire game, man. That's just a really, really good play to be able to push back Trevor Penning on this outside zone concept, resets the line of scrimmage, and, don't overlook the fact that because Penning gets pushed back here initially, and that essentially resets the line of scrimmage, the running back has to run to the inside, because of the fact that Penning gets pushed so far back. So, again, great job by Jalen Carter. Let's go ahead and get to the next snap. Now, my goal for this video is not to be biased for Jalen Carter. It's not to pump a guy up. It's to just show you guys tape, and it's just to show you guys a dominant performance specifically. I don't think I've seen one this dominant in a really, really long time. Like, Jalen Carter was pretty much unblockable, regardless of which offensive lineman it was. 1st and 10 here, and look at him just get right around the reach block. He is lined up to the outside, which is okay for him to go underneath it. He's going to end up using the left hand to push. Right hand comes over the top. And from this point forward, he is basically going to impact the play. Because Alvin Kamara within this point here might say, I want to bang this towards the inside. I want to hit one of these gaps towards the inside. But that's not going to happen because Jalen Carter has won his block and he's going to make the play if Kamara tries to hit this to the inside. Now, outside containment is not great on this one either. And you'll see that Kamara's going to hit this to the outside for 4 yards. But the safety does do a good job coming downhill and making the tackle. But Jalen Carter was absolutely getting after it. And the New Orleans Saints really struggled to stop this guy. He's going to end up beating the right guard here. Keep in mind, this right guard's pretty good offensive lineman. Saints fans might actually say he's their best guard. On the team might be their best overall offensive lineman. And Carter just does a really good job. Now, this one's an interesting one because the guard's going to actually jump set this. He's going to take the fight right to Jalen Carter. He's going to get his hands to the inside. And look at Carter just react. And look at him straight up counter. The guard gets the hands to the inside. He goes right into Jalen Carter. Carter lines the left hand towards the back. He really uses that as leverage. He kind of swipes and then brings the right arm over the top. And just like that, he generates pressure on the quarterback. 1st and 10, get an incomplete pass. You got another one right here. Jalen Carter's going to go up against the right guard. He's going to do a really good job with the hezzy swipe, and then he's going to bring the arm over the top. He's going to generate pressure on the quarterback. Now, this was 3rd and 14, so this was a moment that the Saints wanted to potentially push the ball and either pick up a first down or at least try to continue the drive, maybe pick up, 10 yards, and then you potentially go for it. But Jalen Carter had different plans. I love the pass rush plan that Carter has. Never underestimate it, man. You got to understand before you even start this play, before the ball even gets snapped. You have to think about the alignment you're in. You have to think about where the guy next to you is. Is this guy lined up to the inside? Is he lined up to the outside? And then recognize what's going to happen within this play. Recognize where the offense line's going to slide. If the center here slides towards the left, well, what that means is Jalen Carter has a much wider gap, right? Just depending on where this tackle ends up setting. So essentially, you have a lot of space to work. And on this one here, Carter's going to hezzy right out of his stance. Right? You can see him utilize the hezzy. He's going to fake inside, fake outside, come back inside with the right jab. And then the left arm's going to just swim over the top at the end of this. Just a really, really good job to be able to get to the quarterback. Let's get into the next snap. The Saints are going to try to draw up a play action screen to the left of the screen here. Carter had different plans. This is game-wrecking stuff right here, man. You should not be able to get to the quarterback this quickly. But again, Jalen Carter is a different type of defensive lineman. He's quick, he's explosive, he gets out of his stance so fast, and he's so hard to block. I mean, that's incredible, man. That's really, really, really incredible. That's a good right guard right there. And you see Jalen Carter's just able to beat him up and get to the quarterback on a screenplay to the left as well. You should not be able to win your rep that fast. But again, Jalen Carter, man, just an incredible football player. You got another one here where Carter's going to get his hands up. Love that, man. Absolutely love it. And I love the physicality that this guy plays with. Even at the end of this game, you know, watching this game live, everybody knows kind of what happened with Carter and Tyrann Mathieu. They're kind of talking back and forth. And I love that. I love the fact that Jalen Carter does not back down. You know, he plays aggressive. He plays physical. And the thing is he's not a guy that's, you know, I wouldn't say he's a dirty player at all, but he's a guy that's physical. He's a guy that wants to set the tone. And he backs it up. This is arguably one of the top 2 or 3 defensive tackles in the NFL. And in weeks 1 and 2, he definitely had some plays where he wasn't able to get to the quarterback as fast. But I also do think that the last 2 offensive lines are a lot better, and the Saints are not as good as obviously the last 2 matchups. And you see Carter just do a really, really good job. Absolutely love it. Let's get into the next snap. Alrighty, guys, check this play out. Keep an eye on Jalen Carter. Look at how much of a push he's going to get here. And look at him essentially reset this line of scrimmage and force the running back to have to go to the inside. Now, these plays right here are designed to the outside. These are the Kyle Shanahan wide zone concepts that Clint Kubiak, right, runs the same exact scheme. This play here is meant to go all the way towards the outside. That's why the right guard, right tackle double Jalen Carter the way they do. And look at Carter reset the line of scrimmage. And that forces the running back to have to go inside because the running back is not comfortable that Carter will be reached. Now, on this one, technically, Jalen Carter at the end of this does end up getting reached, but it doesn't matter because when you penetrate the way you do penetrate, a running back's not going to trust it, right? Because technically, 51 does get to the right side here of Carter. If you guys keep an eye here, you do see that 51 gets to the right side, but because of the fact that Carter gets such a push, there's just no way a running back's going to bounce this towards the outside. So again, Jalen Carter just making an impact. Right, disrupting 2 guys essentially, right? Trevor Penning tries to pass off Jalen Carter to number 51 on this one. This is not a good job by those 2 guys right there. And a big part of that is because Jalen Carter's going upfield. He's being disruptive. You know, not every single play that Carter had where he blew up a guy led to loss of yards. This one obviously picked up 4 yards on 2nd and 5. But you'll see this next one as an example on 1st and 10. Just a couple plays later, he ends up blowing it up. And this one loses 3 yards. Now again, Jalen Carter's not the main guy that makes the play. You know, he's one of the 2 guys. But this is what exploding through the gap, what penetrating as a defensive lineman looks like. Especially against these outside zone schemes. If you have a defensive tackle like Carter, you can wreck this scheme. Because what these guys are trying to do up front is they're trying to run the football towards the outside gap. Now, what happens with this play here is because Carter's so fast, he's going to be able to shoot the A gap. In an ideal world, you would double team Carter with these 2 guys. 51 passes off Carter to the center, and then 51 ends up having the angle on the linebacker. And then, of course, Penning's going to try to hook this guy off. And if he's not able to hook him, you can just push him to the outside. And the running back would technically have a hole underneath that. But Jalen Carter does not allow that to happen. He doesn't allow the running back to get to the outside. Instead, he shoots the gap. You know, in my opinion, the Philadelphia Eagles, the defense was so damn good against the New Orleans Saints. The game plan was perfect. Vic Fangio designed something that was absolutely incredible. And to be honest, I think the Philadelphia Eagles offense kind of let them down a little bit. And I do hope the Eagles get it cleaned up on the offensive side because the defense was so damn incredible against the Saints. And this Saints team has been blowing teams out. Right? They've been having so much success against some good teams as well, right? The Cowboys are a pretty good defense, or at least in the past they were. And then the Panthers, we saw what they did against the Las Vegas Raiders yesterday. But the Saints blew both of those 2 teams out, and it was specifically because the offense got after it. But with the Philadelphia Eagles, the defense absolutely dominated. And this was in New Orleans, right? That definitely makes a huge difference as well. And it was because of plays like this by Jalen Carter. And it was the scheme as well, generally speaking. But Jalen Carter has a pass rush plan, and you just see it on tape. Play in, play out. You have to double team this guy, and if you don't, he's going to disrupt your play. Great play as well by Quinyon Mitchell, the rookie here. He also makes another play on the very next play we're going to look at, which is this one. He's going to be way down here towards the bottom. I want you guys to check him out, and then we'll also watch Jalen Carter. Just a really, really good job right there, man. Quinion Mitchell looks good, and it's crazy that some people slept on this guy a little bit. But you got another one here. You're going to match up Jalen Carter on Trevor Penning. It's just the quick wins. You know, this play right here is designed to get the ball out quickly. You can see it's going to be a one-step drop, get the ball out. Now, with that, Jalen Carter has no chance to get the sack. Literally, this is an impossible play for him to get the sack. When it's a one-step drop, the ball comes out, especially with a guy like Derek Carr. He plays in rhythm at times, especially within the offensive structure. But you just see how quickly Carter beats a starting right tackle when Penning. Just bam, double hand swipe, goes to the rip move as well. I mean, this right here is incredible. Look at this. Double hand swipe, Penning's going to lean forward, and then after the double hand swipe, you get the rip. And that rip is what's going to break the contact. Because Penning's arm will end up getting back in front of Carter, right? And that could slow him down. But the rip move breaks that arm, right? Breaks the contact. And to me, if Derek Carr has a 3-step drop or a 5-step drop, he's taking a huge hit on this one by Jalen Carter. Just a really, really good job by Carter as well as the rookie corner. Now, I want to show you guys a couple more impactful plays that Carter had, starting with this first one here. You got a 3rd and 3, and Jalen Carter's going to blow the play up. The Saints are going to try to run the football. And once again, you know, you're going to get a pin pull concept on this one, and Carter just blows it up. I mean, the incredible thing with this play is that this is a pretty easy block by number 51. Jalen Carter is shaded in the 2-eye technique, so he's not on the outside shoulder. So the guard has the angle. Like, as soon as he gets out of his stance, look at that. You have the angle if you're number 51 on Jalen Carter here. Now, Milton Williams does a pretty good job as well. You see on him over here, he's going to actually shoot the gap. And because he gets so far afield, Alvin Kamara has to actually cut that underneath him. That's a good job by Milton Williams to be able to jump that gap and force Alvin Kamara to have to hit this to the inside. Now, with that, you also get Jalen Carter, who just does a phenomenal job. I mean, again, this is such an easy block for 51. And Carter just straight up beats him. He sees it, he beats him, gets right over the top, uses the pass rush technique. Right? The pass rush technique does not only apply to pass rush, it applies to the run game as well. It applies to just straight up one-on-one situations. And Carter just does a really, really good job with the hands. This one ends up losing a yard. Then you got another one here. On this one, Jalen Carter is going to end up getting reached by Trevor Penning. But Carter does a great job being able to beat the block by Penning. To me, initially, Penning does a really good job getting in front of this. This is a winning block right here by Trevor Penning. But again, Jalen Carter does a great job recovering. He's going to rip with the left arm. And he's going to throw his arms up as well right there. Right, and that's going to kind of make Penning feel like, hey, I need to let go. And he does. And with that, you see Jalen Carter just pursue this from the backside. Right, give that effort. That's a great job right there by Carter once again. And he's got a couple plays left. Carter's going to quickly beat the right guard on this one. Left swipe, rip move, and he's going to just get right back into the backfield. Incredible, incredible play by Jalen Carter again. It's just a super quick way to win. All right. And for a quarterback, I mean, look at this. You don't have the time to actually get this ball off. Right? You want to pump fake this as a quarterback. It's a one-step drop pump fake, and then you want to throw the ball. But the offensive line has to hold up for the quarterback to make a good throw on this. And in this instance, the quarterback is not able to have that time. He takes a hit. He's not able to actually get the ball where he wants to put it. And Darius Slay's able to break it up. So again, just a really, really good job by Jalen Carter to just get after the quarterback, be consistent, generate that pressure. And essentially the Eagles forced the New Orleans Saints to kick a field goal on this drive. And that play was a big part of it. I feel like Jalen Carter had such an incredible game against the Saints. He had so many impactful plays. The guy was just dominating pretty much anybody that he went up against. Now, I'm not sure if one of these offensive linemen said something to him before the game. Let me know if there's some sort of drama going on, because what Jalen Carter did against the New Orleans Saints, that is special, man. I'm telling you guys, I've never seen a defensive lineman have this many impactful plays. Of the 51 snaps that Jalen Carter was in the game, 18 of them were plays that he essentially made. That does not happen. 18 of 51 snaps is crazy. Usually a guy makes like 7-8 plays a game. Jalen Carter made 18 against New Orleans Saints. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time with another video.